as I make sure that we don't get, cut off by having too many things going on. And so either lying down, seated on a chair, lying down on a bed, floor, even just sitting at a table, whatever feels like the way that you're supposed to be entering into this time. And beginning that heart-focused breathing. The heart-focused breathing is to imagine the breath going through your heart. Now, some of the tools that I use, I've sent you many times. The one that is it's all you need is love from transformind.com. And it is something you can download. You can download an audio. So sometimes I listen to it on a walk. You can also download a copy, a Word doc, basically. And that too, I've sent it. I'll send it again because it's got multiple tools in it. And some of it's related to the dynamic neuro retraining system, which is to retrain our brain from the things like what triggers us about the people who are uncomfortable for us. And today we shared a lot about that. And that is something we're internationally working with in the spiritual community to soften the edges of this transformation. And it starts within ourselves. And every practice I've ever done always says it starts inside ourselves. And yes, it's a long haul for many of us in the world of healing the inner self, knowing what our inner self is, awakening the essential self, being able to live from the truth of who we are with our passions alive and fully expressed. And with that, we have to calm that negativity bias. That is just, it's a natural negativity bias that humanity has. So you think greater than you feel. So because the what you're feeling inside your body, it may be that it's being caused by the cross-wiring and the overfiring of the limbic system, 4 parts of the brain that are needed to ignite the fight, flight, freeze, and faint response. So think greater than you feel, act greater than you feel. So when you don't feel so good, still go out there and take a walk. Still go out there and do something that makes you feel good. Dance, sing a song, put on your favorite music, go say hi to somebody who I haven't had said hi to in a while. Sometimes I even go downtown and I walk downtown and I look at something, in a store, just to break the whatever the consciousness wants to do. So I act greater than I feel, and then live greater than you feel. Trying to imagine what it looks like to, think greater than you feel, act greater than you feel, and live greater than you feel, and come up with images. So if you are working with this right at this moment, what's the image that comes forward? And it may be, so close your eyes if they're not closed and imagine as you're breathing gratitude through your heart, what does the gratitude tell you about thinking greater than you feel? And what does the gratitude and those words tell you about what kind of information you need to flood the brain with, which is why heart-brain coherence works. gratitude, appreciation, caring, and compassion. And you start with yourself. How much compassion can you give yourself? Compassion. What is that? What does it feel like to give yourself compassion? To only go as fast as the slowest part of you feels safe to go. Beautiful words from Karen Drucker. Think greater than you feel. When you think greater than you feel, when you go and do this practice of the heart-brain coherence, just take 5 minutes, just take 60 seconds and inhale gratitude, appreciation, caring, and compassion to yourself. So you're filling your brain, you're thinking about those things, and then act greater than you feel. Whatever that means, when you're feeling and your body is like not working, how can you help to support it by acting greater than you feel? For me, it would be even in the rain today. I went out barefooted in the rain this morning and walked around my garden in the rain. And I went, this is what acting greater than I felt was. And it was restorative. Especially taking off your shoes on a wet day is incredibly restorative because it's actually a huge earthing process. And so when you have the tools, and that's one of them, the earth itself is a tool. And then witnessing other people, mirror neurons dissolve the illusion of separation when we learn by witnessing others. And that's what we're doing here when we come together. And you can do that in other places too. It may be on the beach in Hawaii. It may be, in your singing group. You're part of the witnessing, and actually we're doing that exchange of the mirror neurons looking at how joyful other people are, and then we are filled. And so if you go to this concert, you'll do that. The mirror neurons will be there doing that. It's part of the oneness. Always visualizing positive results from memories and futures. So when you think about the memories you have and you think about a future, you think about just positive results from those. And I realized just going away, I have this kind of grumpy feeling before I go away because it's all the different things I have to do. And I'm worried about this, that, and the other thing. And that just makes it harder. I know I'm going to go. So I've got to be positive. It's not that easy because we have a negative bias in this limbic system. And we've got memories that are triggered, and we have to stop those triggers. So it's focus, association with something different, and repetition. So focus on the good, on the fabulousness, on the vibrancy and the radiance and the resilience and the love and the peace and the joy. Then make an association with something in your mind. Make an association with something that brings you joy. Then repeat that over and over and over again. And you go far, FAR, focus, association, repetition. Then breathe through the heart whenever you feel out of sorts. When you're healing something like healing from an operation, no matter what part of the body it is, sending beauty and love and resilience and radiance and shining light to those places in the body that need that. And surrendering and having the faith. Surrendering to the body's needs to be still, or to not go out, or to eat something restrictive, where it's easier to do that than to try something new. Tools. And then sending that love and light. And, if you have a hard time using just your mind, watch something joyful, listen to music, go to YouTube University and find really funny things, go to funny things, go to baby animals or babies laughing or laughter yoga. These are tools. The resistance that we have to using the tools is there. And we know resistance is futile. We learned that with Star Trek. So resistance is one of those words to evaluate as a tool, to recognize what that means and then to overcome it, or to surrender, have faith and patience and self-acceptance. The Four Sisters, another tool. Surrender, faith, patience, and self-acceptance. Tools. Nice to have a really full toolbox of simple tools to pull on during this time of the shift of the ages. Breathe gratitude through the heart. It's a tool. Gratitude, change it to appreciation and see what happens. Change it to caring and see what happens, and then change it to compassion and see what happens. All four of them, there's a slight difference, and the body will respond slightly differently. You're igniting the imagination, and it is working within the body in a different way than perhaps you've worked with the imagination before. A tool. Then take a deep breath in and hold the breath. Hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath. Exhale with a big, wide open mouth with a lot of sound that comes out. The body might do something too. My body lifts up. Head crown to the sky. Oh, hold the breath. Oh, hold. And then exhale. This time, inhale. Hold the breath, but not too much hold, a little bit less than that before, and squeeze at the pelvic floor at doing the Kegel, feeling of Kegels, and allow that to let the Kundalini energy go up towards the crown, to the very crown of the head. And then exhale and let it go. A tool. That's a tool. Bring the fingertips together and the thumbs to your heart. Another tool. This is stabilizing for the chakras. It's also igniting the chakras. The first 5 start here. Earth, water, fire, air, red, orange, yellow, green. Right from the base of the spine to the belly, to above the belly button and the solar plexus to the heart. This also connects the throat chakra, which is the bridge between the upper chakras and lower chakras, which is like the ethereal bridge, which is really about us speaking our truth. And it's light blue. So it's beyond the airiness. It's the ethereal part of the unground, not really tethered as much to the earth, but it's tethered within the chakra system. Then bring the thumbs to the third eye. Imagination, inspiration, intuition, integration, the 4 higher sensory perceptions that are coming forth at our time. Part of our ethereal nature, where we have these hypothalamus, hippocampus, pituitary, and pineal glands, and those are control centers of the body, and they are expanding. That's why we're working with a higher vibration. Then tap the top of your head and spread the sutures apart. Make more room in your brain with energy medicine and shake out as though you could clean out the brain of the old neural pathways with the breath. Inhale and exhale, and the hands come around and down behind the ears, down onto your shoulders, and then you flick it out. Last time. And you can do this anytime. A tool, another tool. Open the arms above your head and remember that you are much bigger than you think you are. And your energy field and your understanding of the human is expanding into another whole understanding that we're still integrating. And many of us are just at the beginning of that integration. The soul star chakra, the galactic kind of avenue or channel to the galactic chakra, and then the universe chakra to the galactic chakra to the divine matrix chakra. And you can look them all up. You can, go 12 chakras and find your own information. Then bring your hands to your heart, and in just gratitude and just this understanding that there's a humble place within us too, that this is bigger than ourselves, but we are part of it. We're not separate. Namaste. I honor that I take the time out to do this. And namaste, may the difficult person in my life find peace and love and joy and radiance. And then release all of that and shake this out. We went a little long here on our little meditation. I didn't know that it was going to go that long, but I hope it was helpful. And if you're seated, just shake it all out. And then we're going to come, let's see. I think we'll, it is nice to start on our back. So let's go back. If you're on your back already, pull the knees in. You don't really need to do a lot of yoga. And while I'm gone, I even thought, could I tune in at 1:30 Eastern time every day? The 3 times I'll be gone, the 3 days. And it was questionable to get an answer. And then roll the ankles and point and flex the feet and just see what's going on. Roll the knees in a circle in one direction and then the other if you haven't. The practice really well. And now it's going to be for the next week. I'll be here on Monday. But after that, what you want to do is go to the word discipline. Determination, discipline, and dedication to do even just this one thing where you pull the knees in, open the knees wide. All you're really doing here is you're getting back in tune and you're feeling the body in a different way. And it's getting you out of the head and into the body. It's like somatics. It's somatic therapy, is to get into the body. And then lift the head if you can. You can always have a head on a cushion. You can have your hands behind the head, and you can also not hold the head. Then you can have your arms out. Then head comes down and shake everything out, legs, arms, just the extremities, ground into the spine, and know that you have this chakra balance in the spine. The arms and the legs, they move us through the world. And what we want to do is then, that's our doing. We walk through the world. We use our arms to do all sorts of things, but our beingness is in the gratefulness of this huge, amazing spine. So ground into the earth and imagine that you are just an extension of the earth right now. What are you? Maybe you could come up with a metaphor. I'm grasses or flowers that are, getting rained upon and getting blown in the wind a little bit. Or what are my arms and legs doing? Then just pause there for a moment and feel what that pause feels like. Then pull the knees in, lengthen the legs out, stretch the arms above your head, stretch from the heels of the hands to the heels of the feet, and hold your breath. Oh, and this one's, you can do this standing. You could get up from a chair and just stand and do this, or you lie down. You could do it on your bed. You can do it in the morning. You can do it before sleeping. you just really stretch, and you can go side to side and then relax. You can do whatever. It's a good one. Then bring the feet flat on the floor. This is just the gentlest of practices. And I want to honor that, a lot of us, we're movers and shakers and we have bodies that hurt. And that there's this gentle practice that we've been doing that is as profound as any other, way you could do a yoga or a mind body practice. Knees go to one side, knees go to the other, and being on your back is usually the most gentle way to play. In a chair is a little bit different, but nice too. Knees go to one side, head turns to the other, arms down by your sides, and you're just focusing on the breath. Now you can bring the knees, feet, and thighs on top of each other, or the bottom leg can come over, or you can use blocks. I'm not going to show everything today because each little thing takes, 30 seconds and then our time is gone, and you all know what to do. And then you just relax there in the spinal twist, and you just have gratitude for the body in this position, the beauty of the body. Maybe you can see it in your mind's eye. Then other direction, and just notice if your body's like saying, yes, I love this. Or maybe your body's saying, oh, you know what? I have a cushion nearby, and I'm going to grab that cushion and put it between my knees because, you know what? That's going to be another level of relaxation. Yes. So just breathing, relaxing, breathing gratitude continually through the heart, and then maybe even consciously sending that gratitude down to the toes and out to the fingertips. And notice if you can have that gratitude be full of light, and it can be white light or peach colored light from the earth. Just know that you are really and truly a light being. We've measured it, we've taken photos of it, we know that we're electromagnetic, and that's what light is. Then bring the feet flat on the floor and arms by your sides, and take the feet and just push off from the feet to do the cerebral spinal fluid balancer. So how many things can you do from this position? So many. You can do a whole practice. And when I think of Mur going to sing in 3 different places, and I think of Prudy healing her eye, and I think of Joanne and I both with these, kind of chronic inflammation in various ways. And I think of, the ways that we all are working to, be more healthy. I think that this is probably one of the best things we can do. My intuition guides me. And the intuition's always saying, kind of slow down. So cross the right ankle over the left and feel what that does to the right hip. And then either a block or the cushion, you take that and just put that left foot on something, and it lifts that up, and you can feel that stretch. Now, if this is, you've got more flexibility, you're not tired, nothing's happening for you that you need to worry about, you want to lace the fingers behind that left knee, and you're just holding it there for a moment. If you did that, then your arms pull forward. Now you can use a strap or a scarf or a towel, anything that will extend the arms. And you're just sort of hanging there, just letting the left side of the pelvis just do a little bit of stretching while you're holding it. So it's a breathing into the stretch. Now, if you want to do a little bit more, then you can take the right hand and put it on the right knee, and take the left hand onto that right foot and pull it in a little bit more. And you can, again, this, every posture has so many forms. You can lengthen out that left leg. Yeah, it can rest on the block or it can rest on the floor. And if you want to get a little bit of abdominal strengthening today, you can lift the head and you can raise and lower that left leg. And you're also strengthening the quad. So it's a tiny bit of strengthening. Your point and flex that left foot, or just keep it pointed or flexed. Find the breath. Breathe gratitude to that leg, and then hold for a moment and then let it go. And then let the whole thing go. And lengthen out the legs. Feel what happened to that right hip. Just sort of sense the release. Drop the knees side to side to loosen it a little bit again. Then take the left side and cross the left ankle over the right knee. And again, you can just use the block to make it a little bit more stretch. You put your foot on the block, or you can put your foot on a wall or the base of a couch. And if you feel like you're working with lacing the fingers behind the right knee, you take the fingers, you thread the needle, and you hang out there. Let the arms pull forward. It's a nice little stretch. The head might tilt back a little bit. Mine does. Not everybody's does, depending on what their shoulders and the tightness in their shoulders. Let go of holding up that right foot, and you're just letting it flop. And you're breathing and relaxing. Again, your head can always be on a cushion. You're really trying to judge what's right for your body. And then if you want to go a little further, you catch the right hand on the left foot and you catch the left hand on the left knee. Your right leg comes out, and you can just let it be on the floor or over the block. And you can lift the head and you can lift the leg, and you can do either one, and you can put it in motion. So you've got a lot of options depending on what your body is asking for. And that's about you listening to the wisdom of your body. Listen to the wisdom. What does your body need and want in this moment? And then hold for a moment, breath, and then let it go. Again, releasing this posture, letting it go, bringing the leg out, looking at the release, then dropping the knees side to side, a little bit more release. And then rolling over right onto our hands and knees. So you were right onto our hands and knees. Now, that's a big movement. So onto the hands and knees, and then just getting that spine moving in this direction. And again, checking out with your wrists if they need, if your fists need to come down to the floor, or you need these grippets or the push-up bars. Breathing. Nice breath, big breath. Inhale one direction, exhale the other. Really allowing the spine to have this movement, knowing that the 6 movements of the spine each day, it'll even help the eyes heal. If you work with these things that we're doing today, whatever we're working with in the body, getting the body to open its the vertebra and move the cerebrospinal fluid and rebalance it is a key. So hold for a moment in one direction. You can do this in a chair, on the edge of a chair. You can do it on your hands and knees. We did it on the floor by pulling the knees in, but you get a different sensory perception when you do it this way, and it's a little bit deeper for working the spine in the other direction. And hold for a moment. Then fold back here. We haven't done this in a while. And some people need to take a cushion, and and if you're on a chair, you just fold over and have your torso fold over your arms come to the floor and head over the torso. And come on to a posture of what's called the child. You may want to block for the head. You may want to open the knees. Some people just have to open the knees wide, and then their body loves this posture. You might be on your elbows and the head on a cushion or a block. and breathe into the lower back. So just consider that you can breathe into the lower back and feel the expansion there. If this doesn't work for you, then you do puppy stretch. Puppy stretch is come forward, and the lower back really curves a lot as you're on your elbows. And again, you put your head on a block or a cushion. And that, for many of us, especially with lower back pain, this one feels a lot better. And if you have a knee pain or something like that where your knees don't fold, this is also better. So you're just, again, wondering, what is my body telling me? What do I need to do today? Now you can stay here. You can also have a cushion, like a bolster or a couch cushion, something you can have underneath your body. If your body says it's okay, then put this in motion with coming up into upward dog. My body just happens to love this, so I feel this back bend and I come back and forth. So if your body doesn't love that, then you go down, put your elbows on the floor, and you can be in Sphinx. We did Sphinx on Wednesday on the floor. Inhale and exhale. And if you, the more breath you bring into the practice, I can't always say inhale, exhale, but because I'm talking you through things, but you can go inhale, exhale, inhale in direction, exhale. The more you breathe, the more you're healing. The more you breathe, the more prana is being, that energy, the air movement in the body is doing really good things for you. Then come back to hands and knees. And we're going to come back down to the floor. And come back around. And back, and bring the block or a cushion right underneath your sacrum. And this is the restorative form of bridge. So just feel it. It's a mild back bend. And again, once you have a block, the cushion is softer. If you have a cushion, I've encouraged you to get the, a cotton or a real yoga cushion, because it's firmer. Anything filled with polyester isn't going to be as firm, but I've used couch cushions and bed cushions for almost everything. You can also have a blanket. A cotton blanket is best to fold up, and then you make like a little lift out of that blanket by folding it up enough to put it under your sacrum. Then decide whether you like this feeling where you put the legs up. We know that legs up the wall for many of us has been incredibly restorative. And partly what we're doing is we're changing the pull of gravity on the body. And we know also from the research that, there's these chairs that you can get which actually turn the body upside down, and that's actually healing for the body, just to change the gravity. The center of gravity changes the pull of the water in your body. You are mostly water, so you are pulling the molecules of water with the gravity of the earth. Now, this is called a supported shoulder stand. Those of you who have it in you and you want to go up into shoulder stand, you lift the buttocks off the floor, you hold the pelvis with your hands, the thumbs behind the at the iliac crest, and then your hands to hold that whole pelvis up. I don't have it in me today to do that, but some days I do. Today I'm feeling definitely worn out. And some of it's from sitting at computers, working on all these computer issues. Not good for me. So you can stay there, right there, and you can just point and flex the feet. You can open and close the legs. You can, just play with the action here. Or you can also put one leg down, one foot down, and then the other you can lengthen out. You can feel the back bend. You can put both legs out and feel how the block or the cushion are holding you up for this feeling of this back bend. And take a couple breaths there and just decide if it's good for you. You're always going, is what's right? What's right for me that's coming, all of these words, they come from someplace they're just out of my consciousness. But what is right for me is to be closer to the earth, to stay close to the earth. To not get up and walk around so much, to not get into a car, to not, to spend as many moments as I can walking and being grounded into the earth. And if you're traveling this weekend, and I think of the travel to do the different concerts, just to always know, go out and take ground yourself in the places that you end up. Grounding yourself on the earth with maybe even a little bit of yoga. Then press into the feet and come out. And one thing that I really wanted to do before, but I forgot, is cross crawl. Now, you can do this standing, seated, or lying down, but all you're going to do is cross one hand, tap the other knee, tap, tap. Now, if you really want something more than this, then you can go to elbows. Then you can go to lifting your head, exhale on each side. But really, mainly what we're doing is crossing the brain. Cross crawl, what we know about in energy medicine is that we get uncrossed. We get homolateral, and we need to go hetero. Then hold one side and hold the other side. And then head comes down, and we're pretty much at time. So bringing our knees up, prop the knees together, or lengthen out into Shavasana. Now, if you feel like you want to go into reclined goddess, soles of the feet together, arms out, if you feel like that's a good one for you, and if you want to, tuck the cushion underneath the spine, if it's easy and fast, that's what I want to do. So, if it's easy and fast, just grab it and do that. My body, I like to at least once a day find a way to open my shoulders, because I spend so much time with the shoulders folded in the opposite direction. And ultimately, it's really one of these things that is not good for the spine. So if you can find even another time today, or a time when you walk through the world with your arms behind your back, catching the forearms and taking a little walk. And we'll go back to our beginnings here of, act greater than you feel. No, think greater than you feel. Act greater than you feel. Live greater than you feel. And trying to embody, what does that mean? What does acting greater than I feel mean? What does, living greater than I feel mean? And then what is thinking greater than I feel? So all those little things in our body that are speaking to us, that are saying, ouch. If we think greater than we feel, then I like to create an image of something that is touching that area, as though it was one of these negative thoughts that goes through the consciousness. Touch it and let it go. Touch it and be like a feather that is caught in the breeze. Touch it like a dandelion seed, the umbrella of that dandelion seed carrying it up into the cosmos. Touch it like in Oregon, we can see the fluff of the cottonwoods in the air. All of the seeds are filling the air and floating. Let each one of those floating seeds be something about the little things in my body that are causing me ouch, that are making an ouchie, a little irritation, body, mind, or spirit. Allowing no irritation to be present as I think greater than I feel. And let my actions today be joyful. So I act greater than I feel. And then let my actions today and my life today, with everything that I do for my life today, be celebrated. So then live the full living greater than I feel. Wow. And if you already feel fabulous, more power to you, and just go out there and change the world. Change the world with your light, and send us all the light that you already have. And here we are together in this circle of wise women. We are light, we are a circle of wise women, and we are resilient, radiant, vibrant, kind, loving. We are working with each other's mirror neurons. I see you. I know you. I love you. You are part of me. Then bring the hands together in namaste, and all that we've just spoken for ourselves, send it out to the world, spread the love. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. Peace, shalom, salam, pak, shanti, pache, mir, maluhia, frieden, hung sang. All of the languages of the world come together in oneness. Hear them all in all of those different dialects, all of these different languages, all being spoken at the same time. And then take a deep breath in. Release this, release the posture, whatever posture you were in. Roll over to your side. Maybe take a moment in fetal posture. Then press into the hands and take a moment in just bringing yourself up and letting yourself settle. Onto my hands and knees for me as I come back up and press into one knee and the other foot.